A nationwide dock worker strike continuing to disrupt major ports, creating ripple effects across many industries. Some 45,000 dock workers at 36 U.S. ports from Maine to Texas. They're on the picket line right now. And there's a wide gap between the worker union dispute over wages and the use of automation and the contract offer coming from the U.S. Maritime Alliance. And good evening, everyone. I'm Brian Allen. Andrea is off tonight. The short-term effects of the U.S. port strike will likely be minimal, but if the strike is prolonged, the cost and availability of items will become more notable. Sam Wright continuing our coverage now at 5 o'clock.
From the Northeast to the Gulf Coast, U.S. ports are shut down, and the union representing about 45,000 dock workers are fighting for improved benefits. The waiting game begins to see how goods from coffee, vegetables, housing materials, and auto parts could be affected if this persists. In the short term, it could mean delays and backlogs at ports. Economists estimate a loss of goods and services at the ports could be between $500 million to $5 billion per day as that trickles through the economy.
It's important to understand that this is an entry point, not just for the final goods that consumers like you and I might buy, but this is also the entry point for some mid-range or intermediate types of goods that are used in the production of other things domestically here.
University of Sioux Falls assistant economic professor Lori Halverson describes it as disrupting a well-choreographed dance where the natural flow of ships will eventually be interrupted. Some will be able to avoid the disruption altogether with air freight, but some area will inevitably feel the change.
Once we do get past this, even if we've got a couple of days, we're going to have to get this stuff off of the ships again. And now how do we get it across the country? Well, we're going to transport it across the country using trucks and rail. So the trucks and rail is going to start to slow down for a period of time if there's nothing coming off of these ships to get shipped throughout the United States.
The potential disruption has been compared to recent events such as the COVID-19 pandemic. But Halverson says the items in high demand would likely be different compared to 4 years ago. The automobile industry was affected during the pandemic but has since leveled out. Meineke Car Care Center owner Greg Anderson hopes that it remains healthy and doesn't have a similar effect.
I think right now inventories are okay across the United States, and certainly our suppliers. We're just going to have to watch that day by day, month by month if it prolongs.
With the strike going into day 2, it's too early to determine which items will be affected first, but Halverson says an observant approach is best. In Sioux Falls, Sam Wright, Dakota News Now.